Let me get in my bag a little bit. Take notes too. Cartier for the win. You're lucky that my niggas making cash now. They would rather run up, tell you put the cash down. Ran the block till the sun came back round. D's came, we spent on them like James Brown. Now, these foreign whips help me change the script. Brothers still grinding, just ask the clips. Life's a balance and I can't knock it. Cause I'm a Libra with a pocket rocket. Let my heart bleed through the sample. Trusting God but still tie up my camel. Cartier sent me this, I go 1,000 bars. We done took more shots than 1,000 bars. Salute to the real niggas. I done shook hands with some real killers. Did dope deals with the dope dealers. Wore ice near robbers and that's a real chiller. Can't let the secret hate penetrate. It's usually your old friend, lonely and afraid. I'm sorry, I don't like your post more. I'm too busy cruising the West Coast shores. I hear the whispers. It's gonna be a cold winter. I can't help it, I'm a sinner. You know the drill, I be going to November. Notes. I'ma grab it right here. More important, I'm taking care of family. He violate, he gone, baby. Plan B. But enough for the tech shit. That's why I'm happy to see Rossi on the chef shit. Gotta say free male murder. Sometimes an L ain't a loss, it's a learner. Betrayal from close friends, I hurt your sternum. Beat so full it need a sermon. Them pitchforks in life, you gotta curve them. Bridges to fake people, gotta burn them. Ain't no coming back from that. That's why my bags keep coming back to back. I promise, boy, I'm not boasting. But I'm not dimming my lights for these vultures. Every time I put on, it's for the culture. In war with life, but I'm a soldier. Sent me this, I go 1,000 bars. Grew up in the streets, my sneak still got the tar. Stacking dollar bills in a jelly jar. Trying to make sure my son don't have the same scars. Salute my moms, man, she did enough. That's why Christmas never missed us. My grandmother came over and watched over us. My two angels in life, I can always trust. Stunting so hard, they gotta see me. They email about cash, then niggas CC. My heart blacker than Cooper, somebody free me. Been pitching in New York way before CC. Believe me, life's crispy. The marathon continues, that's word to Nipsey. Shouts to the family members that never supported. I don't need your 2 cents, I can always afford it. Cartier sent me this, I go 1,000 bars. Take notes too. Y'all enjoy it, y'all. See the game through my eyelids.
Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. Now we're getting to our new version of this whole Progressive Action thing where we're going to be talking about a lot of current events and transit issues and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to have my 2 main guests, and I'm not even going to hold up on the show. I'm going to get straight to it. So we're going to introduce, without further ado, hold on, let me hook them up first. Let me get their sound together. and all of that. But we're going to introduce them without further ado. LaShawn Craig and my Uncle Coke. What's going on, fellas?
We here, man. We here.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Good evening.
You know, and what made me start up this show right here was the fact that you know, you guys are like very vocal on Facebook regarding issues that affect you know, people of color, social issues and that. And y'all go back and forth and y'all have a lot of good banter. And I actually like it. And I think that the world need to see what's going on and how you guys think, because I think both of you guys are intelligent and both of you guys have something positive to offer to the world, actually. You know, I think that it's not limited to Facebook. And, you know, let's get into it. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to play a clip right now. And it's regarding this whole Popeyes thing. I'm gonna play two clips actually. I'm gonna play the first clip, and then we go discuss that. Then I'm gonna play the second clip, and I want you guys to discuss the clip and how y'all feel about it and all this other stuff. So let's get to the clip, and we'll be right back.
Let's get to the clip.
Break your fucking now, and I want everybody's motherfucking name. How about that? Okay. How about girl? You don't know me. You don't know me,
ma'am. I'm so sorry.
I will
Please
beat her
don't
ass.
to her. She's underage. Please don't. Please.
She lucky. She blessed. Okay? I want my sandwiches. Make my fucking sandwiches. Make my motherfucking sandwiches.
Her food over mine. Get her goddamn food now.
I'm about to fuck break your fucking now, and I want everybody's motherfucking name. How about that?
Somebody not making her sandwich.
Now I seen you write on Facebook, Coke. You know what are they putting in our food, or what they putting in this chicken?
Well, what are they not putting in? Well, what are they not putting in? It's not. I don't even think it's official chicken meat. But all like you said, you had a problem with the sodium the other day. What makes you think that there's not some other kind of mind altering or body physiological chemical that they put in there that either doesn't get tested for, it's untraceable, whatever it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not going that far into conspiracy theories, but what could make somebody lose their mind to the point that they're going to go back and forwards with kids from behind the counter over a sandwich? When that's a grown-ass woman, she'd go home and cook her own damn sandwich.
So you think that is something? You think that is something in the food that's making the people act crazy like this? Because she wasn't the only one. There's a lot of people acting crazy.
You know what though? I don't want to be sound ignorant or sound like I even know. Like me and Craig was saying, we're not scholars on this. I think it's the mindset. I think it's a whole beginning with a mindset. That may be something that altered these people's brain. Besides the chicken, I don't know, chemical imbalance, whatever the case may be, but it's just the mindset people have. They think that because they're spending their money, they have a right to abuse people, and for the silliest of all reasons. Like my thing is, we ridicule people for running to the store to go get a chicken sandwich. Do you think that has stopped any other people from lining up for blocks and blocks? So there's got to be a mindset. There's got to be something mentally wrong with these people. It's got to be something. It's got to be something stronger than just the food. I mean, we know that our food is not organic. We know that it's not purely based and stuff like that. But I think it's more of the mindset of the people that's walking in there, because it's unintelligible, man. Craig, you eat that, man.
I definitely agree with you, Coke. I definitely agree with you. Carter G. Woodson, he said it best. You know that I guarantee you, if it was somebody from a different race and possibly a different neighborhood, she would not have responded in the way that she responded, and that she responded to a minor. It also lets me know what type of insecurities is going on within her own household. She clearly showed that there is absolutely no order whatsoever, because what you see on the outside is dictated by what's going on the inside. So if she disrespected that young man and lady, I couldn't see clearly, then you know that's going on inside the home.
Yeah, she act like that out in the street. She act like that in the crib.
All right, so we're gonna play this next clip. This is a totally different clip of someone else acting a fool. So we're gonna get to the clip. Y'all watch this, and then we're gonna discuss it.
Fuck you, man.
swing on. Hold on.
He just said,
Fuck is your goddamn problem?
did he just say,
Huh? You wanna be a motherfucker, man? You gonna fucking kick your fucking ass, you piece of shit! You're right, I won't. You're right, nigga. You started to shut the fuck up!
Yeah, I see.
Piece of motherfucking
you
shit!
better not.
Fucking nigger ass motherfuckers, get the fuck out of my way! Fuck you, man! Shut the fuck up! You piece of shit! Dog me, motherfucker!
All right, so what do you guys think about that right there? This white guy going crazy over this chicken.
I'm on the internet with my people. Yeah, what that dude?
Yeah, what you think about that?
He was trash too. Go ahead, go take your clothes off. Go take it. He's trash anyway. He was trash, and he got caught up. He put himself in a bad situation, man. He put himself in a situation with all them black people, and thought that he was gonna walk out like that. That's just another, black and white mindsets don't always have to be the same. I mean, be different when it comes to being ignorant. But he's ignorant, dangerous, self-destructive, and all those things. He got a lot of shit going on because 5 minutes later, as soon as he walked out the door, they put the beats on him. He deserved it.
It was justified. That was a justified ass kicking right there.
He was justified.
Oh, definitely justified. But Popeyes, at the end of the day, Popeyes don't see black or white. Popeyes see green. Popeyes see supremacy, something that we should be seeing on a day-to-day basis.
You ain't lying, man. Yo, that's the other thing we not sitting here talking about. Look how they sitting out here. They came back with the burger, whatever that is, right? And people went back and stood on lines, car lanes, what do they call it? The drive-throughs full. People fighting in drive-throughs, and the block lines down the block. People are going mad over some food, over a sandwich. It's like they see green. They saw something that was going to make them some cash, and they played it to the end. They parlayed. But we don't see the supremacy thing. Is everything that they put out here for us, we eat that up. We eat it up. We spend money that we don't have. We put ourselves at risk. I mean, what more can I say? This is a ridiculous situation. It's embarrassing, man.
Yeah, I don't know where. Yeah, I know. I don't know where he went. I gotta go back and find him. Yeah, but I agree. It is embarrassing, and
like he was saying. But wait, I was like what he was saying about supremacy. The whole thing about supremacy is that they're gonna make $1 off anything and everything they can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why should they stop? Well, they're never going to stop. If they got something that they can make money off, if they're gonna feed it, they're gonna feed it to you. They're gonna take your money from it, and they're gonna spend it doing something else. Cunning, insidious, and bastard to you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
they're gonna continue to do it. We funded our own demise. We contributed to our own demise. So their master plan, their game plan is working right on time, better than right on schedule, better than they predicted it to be. So there's no need for them to adjust. They, like you said, they're not thinking about what was I saying? They see green. They don't care who the money comes from. But in that particular incident, when this dude did that in that black neighborhood, that was the issue. He was in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
Calling people niggas and telling people to get out his way, and that he was going to do this and he was going to do that to him. What possessed him to do that? It got to be insanity. It got to be insanity. Like I said, that mindset people have, it doesn't come in the colors. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that's you're right with certain things like that.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. Because there's another video that where there's some hillbillies, right?
Uh-huh.
The hillbilly comes up to the side of this other guy's car and smacks his truck while he's waiting for his burger, whatever that shit is, a chicken sandwich. He smacks the guy's truck because he won't get out the way so he can get his chicken sandwich. The other hillbilly jumps out his truck and puts the beats on him. And this is all Popeye related. It's all Popeye related. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lower class. It's like you put people in the lower class in a lot of bad predicaments that they sometimes don't realize they're in. situation like this sandwich, I don't know what it is, what the draw is, because people could easily go to the store and buy them a chicken cutlet and hook up their own spices and do the same thing with this sandwich. It's just that some people just have to follow the whistle. Pavlov's dog. Pavlov was a scientist or whatever he was, psychologist or something like that. He trained dogs by throwing them food at mealtime, and he blew a whistle and threw them
Yeah,
food.
yeah. That was the
So
signal. Yeah,
yeah, that's the signal. So when the
yeah.
dogs heard the whistle, they would come to eat. So these people hear the bell. They had a whistle about this chicken sandwich. They basically responding like Pavlov's dogs,
And then
and
what
nobody
was
killed
crazy? LaShawn, where you went, man? You disappeared on us for a second.
Brother, I must have said the wrong thing, man. Our phone was like, "Oh no, Negro! Oh no, you will not speak about that." Our phone
but
said,
but
"Nah, I'm out."
but even
They
like
violated.
I had two of the chicken sandwiches the other day. I was watching Monday Night Football, Giants, Cowboys, and I said, you know what? Let me try this chicken sandwich. So I bought a regular and I bought a spicy. And man,
that shit almost killed you.
the next day, the next day, I had a headache that I could not shake. I could not shake it. It put me dead to sleep. And I'm like, yo, what the hell going on? So I checked my blood pressure probably like that day I checked it. And my blood pressure was through the roof. And I don't got no blood pressure issues. So I'm like, yo, what the hell did I eat? And then I remember somebody commented to me on Facebook and say, yo, those things is filled with salt. I say, yo, I ate two of them joints back to back. And what the hell's going on? Today I checked it, my blood pressure was regular, but I was like, yo, that was pretty scary because I had a migraine out of this world.
And not being all super technical or being like a scientist and that, I looked at the content, the nutritional value. The nutritional value is like those 1,600 milligrams of salt, and you're only supposed to take in
1,500,
25, 1,500. You
for
ate
the day,
the amount of salt for the
and
for the day.
In a matter of an hour.
Exactly.
And not to count all the other BS I ate throughout the day.
Right.
Exactly.
Not to count that either.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was pretty crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty
That's
crazy.
intense, man.
It was pretty
But
crazy.
brother, I mean, but fellas, Popeyes can't do this alone. Nobody can feed anything to us, give anything to us, or take anything away from us without our willful consent, though.
That's
You
true.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't do anything. I wish they would run like that to open school night. You got some open school night clips? Of course, nah. You don't have no open school night clips.
Speaking of that, you see people online for this Popeye burger, and we just had it was voting on Tuesday, right? We have elections on Tuesday. I didn't see no lines outside of these voting places like it was for Popeyes. So yeah, so this goes on to, I seen a comment on your page, Coke, and you guys was having a discussion on it, and it was supposed to have been a quote from Common where it says, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to keep you from voting. You believe in that, right, Coke?
I do believe in it. I do believe in that. Now listen, what I'm saying is what I'm saying to people is what I'm saying to people is the first thing I want to do is I want to pay homage to our ancestors, the people that stood out there and got beat down, bloody, lost their lives for it. Whether it works or not, I think we owe them that much since we didn't affect so much change as getting civil rights or voting rights act. Just pay that homage. The other thing is we have not put our leaders, the elected officials, to the task. We vote for them and we let them get up with the people that runs everything, and we let them get corrupted, take money, put money in their pockets, have people do favors for them. Then they start working for themselves. See, it's not that way with white people. White people put people up and they hold them to task. They let them make that little bit of change, but you damn sure gonna fulfill your promises. The vote could work if we held people to task, but we don't hold people to task. We get out there and we say, "Oh, this is the best person of color to represent us because they came from where we came," but they forget once they get taken out the neighborhood, they expose that everything, all the other government and all the other elements that corrupt people, money, drugs, women, all those things, because they remember they only human. They forget themselves what they there for. So when we need something done, these people are already indoctrinated into this new way of life that they trying to hold on to.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As being an elected official, they become career politicians. You know, they lose their purpose to us. But once we get a person who's dedicated enough, or we get a group enough people that's strong enough to hold people to task to keep them on the straight and narrow path, then we got something cooking. But until we get somebody dedicated enough to do the work for us, that doesn't that people that deserve our votes, a vote is just going to be a vote, and that's what people were saying to me. They were saying to me, "That shit don't mean nothing. We don't got nobody. We got nobody doing the work for us." So vote is a waste. But I'm saying, yeah, it can be a waste and it cannot be a waste at the same time because we still got to pay homage to the people that got us the right to vote. You understand what I'm saying to you? We didn't do that ourselves. We didn't affect that change for us to throw something away. It's not ours to give away. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I got you. How you feel about that,
Right.
LaShawn?
Anything giveth can be taken away. So let's move on with this voting thing. Name one candidate, Coach, that we actually came together as a people and put in front of those that look like us to actually vote for. That was actually going to be for us, by us, with us, standing all the way. Name one candidate that we collectively came together that wasn't given to us. Because nine and a half
Collectively
times
is
out of, go ahead.
when you say collectively, that's a large group. That's a really large group. I'm saying pockets. You know, the boroughs, the advocates, the borough presidents, the advocates, the mayors, and all those people. We have many of them. They always want somebody out there and say he's the next great thing, next cook food. I mean, you know, sliced bread,
Of,
whatever they want to say, whatever the
of
phrase
course,
is. They always,
they're always putting people
yeah,
out in front of us, but who have we chosen collectively?
none. That's non-existent. It's
So
non-existent. There's no
so
God.
even
It's
though they look
non-existent.
like us, you know that they're not for us. That's what I'm
Right.
trying to tell the people. They're not for us. If they're already been put out, for example, I know a lot of people are gonna be upset with this. I don't really care. But President Barack Obama, everybody went crazy over President Barack Obama. But how long have the people been asking for Barack Obama? Oh, we need a black president. We need a black president. They even was calling Bill Clinton, William Clinton, the first black president. Stone cold Caucasian, and he was the first black president. So they said, you know what? Somebody got a great idea. Yo, let's give the people what they want. Let's give them someone that looks like them, but not really for him, because a lot of the agendas that he pushed was really not for us at all. And
There's a whole
knowing
lot.
that,
Yeah.
go ahead, I'm listening. Go.
No, I'm sorry because you want finish your straight. Finish.
There's a lot of people. What we have to know is, and we have to realize that just because they look like us, do not mean that they're for us. They might be brown, but they might be chocolate dipped Caucasians. And we have to take the time to really sit back and think about it, because that's something that we have not done for thousands and thousands of years. The last time that we was actually thinking about something, we built we built all kinds of things that can't even be matched to this day.
Right.
So
Right.
what we need to do is stop believing, because the only thing that you find in belief is a lie, and start getting back to reality, not religion, not politics, or anything of the sort.
Why not religion?
Because it only gives you something to rely on.
So what's wrong with that?
We need reality. That's all we need. Reality is what's going on now
It's got
in
to be
this
something
in
to
this
bind.
day.
It's got to be it got to be
We-
something that binds us. It got to be something that binds us. It's not going to be just a belief that we believe. That's a past. Those are thoughts in people's heads, and those are hard to connect because we're not telepathically connected. It's got to be a binding. It's got to be a binding agent. It's got to be something. Whatever the spirituality becomes, that's got to be one of the binding agents. It's not, and I don't believe it's going to be one thing. It's got to be common. It got to be common thoughts. It got to be common belief systems. But it's got to be a binding agent. It can't. I don't believe that we're just going to say, "Do you think like this?" and then all of a sudden we're just going to come together through the phone tree or just through word of mouth. It's not going to be like that. You know, people's emotions are involved in this too. Because if you want somebody to get down and go hard for you, they gotta believe that in their heart. They gotta know it's worth dying for. They
Yeah,
got to know
but
what it's
when
going
you're
hard for.
but when your emotions are involved, your emotions are not. And that's something that we have to get away from. I remember now I was born in 78. There was a time period that so-called black folk, which I'll get back to, we weren't believers at all. We were thinkers. And that's the bottom line to it. Until we get back to thinking, nothing is gonna happen. We gotta get in one line. We have to have one moral, one value, one principle. Because
That's
everybody
major.
else roll like that, and they capitalize on us not having that.
That's major. Yeah, that's major. I do believe that. You got to be more thinkers than you think about emotions. But you got to think about people are not what you and me make them to be. People have emotions. You can't deny human nature. You don't. Just different things drive different folks. Just because a person who has emotions, that doesn't think that their intellect doesn't outweigh their emotions. See, we got to worry about the inner being of a person. We got to think about those things and give people credit for being human because everybody is not a thinker. What do you do about the people that are not thinkers?
You leave them
How do you
behind.
get them to form? How do you get them for? You have to inspire them some way.
No,
You
no, no, no.
understand? It's different.
You,
It's
that's not
different.
the way evolution works, brother. That's not the way evolution does not work like that. You cannot continue to drag people along that's not even willing to walk. You can't do it.
Well,
That
they fall off anyway. That's dead skin. They fall off. Everybody's not gonna make it. Everybody's not
oh,
gonna
I
make it.
agree. I'm with you.
So, but for the most part, the sift, you have to learn to put people through the sift. So you may have you may have totally emotionless people, straight thinkers. Then you have people you have that they totally what do you call it? They not malleable. Those people too stern. You got to be able to bend so that you don't break. And then you have people that's overly emotional. Then they're just weak because they allow their intellect to outweigh their emotions. So you have to have the proper blend of people. And like you said, evolution is going to weed people out. But you can't just forsake everybody and say that it's going to be only one way. You discourage the masses. Your message can't be, you can't send out a message. We only want these kind of people. We can't work. That's not the way it works. You can't say we looking for thinkers because
So 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 let me ask this. Now it's being said that the so-called Illuminati, and and I'll ask you this as well, T2. The Illuminati is supposed to be in charge of the entire planet right now, right?
Mhm.
Do they have a lot of people?
No, I don't believe they do.
You know they don't.
I,
You don't have to believe
I
that,
don't.
brother. You know they
No,
don't.
I don't believe they do.
Y-
I believe a select, just
Yo,
like the
T,
people
we
say.
can't hear you, T. We can't hear you.
My fault, my fault. You think
Right.
Trump is a part of the Illuminati?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah, yeah,
not.
You say yeah, Coke?
yeah. He's a tool.
I
The
believe
Illuminati.
I believe
He's a
he's a
tool.
tool. I
He's
believe
a
he's a
tool.
tool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
he's
course
a
he is.
tool. He a part of the Illuminati. Not
That
not
makes him
even
a that
close.
makes him apart. That makes him apart. That don't mean him a leader. That
Yeah.
makes him a
No,
tool. Just like
he's being
just like
used
Paul
by the
White's
Illuminati.
right. Just like the 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 whole situation with racism. When whites came here, they had to in order to keep their numbers, and feel safe. They had to bring the poor white up above a slave. That's where racism came from. The elite whites came over here and they said, "Listen, you're not a slave. You a white man, you ain't got nothing. You poor white trash or whatever they wanted to call them." But they made them feel like they were superior to a black man, which they were not. And this is where
Ho-
racism came. That's why you
Hold
deal
on,
with
but they
Billy Bob up. Billy Bob feel like he's superior. He really superior to a doctor. A doctor back in the days had to kiss the feet of Billy Bob, and he wasn't nothing. So this is where like you said, the Illuminati, the elite, those people, they use people like Chump as a tool, because that's all he's worth, and he's like one of the people that you said. He's not even a thinker. He's just a um he immalleable fool. He's a not malleable fool that they could use to do whatever they want him to do. Those are the type of people that they need to be their type of soldiers. Now, as far as we concerned, maybe we do. Yeah, I believe that we do need people in certain places that rely basically on their intellect and less emotions. But there's got to be a mixture. There's got to be a mixture of people to achieve our goal.
I agree.
You speaking about balance.
Balance, right?
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a balance, but Trump, he's definitely not a part of the Illuminati, and you know, my thing is less is more. You understand what I'm saying? You really don't need a lot of people to make a movement go forward. You really don't. And a lot of people, everybody is not going to come along. They didn't come along with Elijah Muhammad. They didn't come along with Malachi York. They didn't come along with Marcus Garvey. They didn't come along with Booker T. Washington. Everybody's not going to come along, and that's just the way it works.
Run again.
And
Run again.
this is not about belief. You know what I mean? I don't wish to leave anybody behind. That's not my wish. I just see things for what they are, as opposed to everybody else who wants to believe what they should be.
Everybody's gonna make it. Like everybody's gonna make it. That's not. It doesn't happen like that. No, you're right.
It can't happen like that. It cannot.
There's laws of nature. There's laws of nature. Self-preservation and laws of selection. The strongest survive. First law of nature. Self-preservation. Selection. The laws of selection. Of course, we're not all going to make it, but you just can't come out and tell people that we don't need you. That's my thing. You just can't tell people we don't need you because you don't fit the scope. That's like Nazism. That's like saying there's only a race of certain people. There's a race of certain people that deserve to belong here.
Now I know y'all see the new picture I put on the screen. It's the whole Byron Allen interview, and Comcast. It's there.
Not yet.
You see it? You see it, Cope?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. It didn't come up yet.
Okay, so hold on. Oh, hold on a second. So hold on. It should be there now. So the issue. Wait till I get it on the screen. The issue with the Byron Allen thing is that he's suing Comcast for 20 billion and 10 billion or something like that.
290 million.
290 million.
290 million.
Ooh.
All right. So, but what's more importantly is that Comcast is trying to roll back our civil rights from 1866, which it actually says it makes blacks equal to have an equal opportunity to make money. Just
Their contract.
Yeah. So if Byron Allen actually lose this could spell disaster for blacks. You guys agree or disagree?
What it is,
Coke, I didn't get a chance to read the article, but go ahead, I'm listening.
What it is that I've been reading is that the Fair Contract Civil Rights Act, it deals with this discrimination, not only just for us, for anybody. It makes it easy for big business, anybody with money, to discriminate against you. Right now, 99% of this, you have to prove. Comcast wants you to prove that 99% of the causation for a discrimination charge is based on race or discrimination, and 1% of your ability to perform the task. Meaning that Byron Allen has to prove to them that they discriminated against him based on his race.
100%. 100%. That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard.
It depends on who's looking at the case, because Byron Allen brought to them the fact that 80 stations who were of lower value came to Comcast and got stations, got airplay. Meanwhile, his higher quality stations got turned down. And this just happened. Meanwhile, the smoking gun is Comcast said that they didn't have any more stations. They didn't have any more airways to sell. So meanwhile, these 80 stations that Comcast told them that they didn't have, they gave them the white vendors. So why did the white vendor get those 80 stations? And when Comcast came, when Byron Allen came to them, he said they didn't have none. Now they have this amicus brief that Comcast is using, having the Department of Justice come and testify, write an amicus brief on behalf of Comcast.
Comcast, yeah.
Comcast. Now, what where do we saying that our Department of Justice to protect big business? That's not how it goes.
Well,
You don't send it,
the president come from big business.
and that's yeah. And this is where all the
But
prejudice, this is where the white supremacy is coming in, this is where the Illuminati is coming in, and this is where all of this European shit, all this European control is surfacing and it's showing its head. And what people don't
but
understand is while they running around talking about let's go see Harriet, Harriet financed by Comcast. And I keep saying to them, listen, every penny that you donate to that movie is going into the war chest of people that want to take away your civil rights.
That's correct.
So we donate to we contributed to our own demise. So I got people arguing with me about, oh, it's I'm talking about you don't like Harriet, you don't like her because she's this, she's that. I said, listen, the bigger picture is that I don't care what she said on a tweet 2013. I don't care where she come from. I'm saying to you, help your brother. You talking about black this and black that, supporting your brothers. Support your brother and not give them a dime. Because that money that they recycle, that 17 million that they spent on it, they take that 17 million and throw it into the defense or give it to Donald Trump or the DOG, and you just donate it to your own demise of the civil rights act.
So how you feel? How you guys, Sean?
but brother Cope, are they not supposed to do that? Because I'm gonna give the real breakdown of racism because I'm a racist. Are they not supposed to do that?
No, they did. Listen, I said self-preservation. Remember something. We all know self-preservation is the first law of nature. They're not gonna lay down and give a shit.
Well, you heard what he said, Coke. He said he's a racist.
To an extent, we all are. No, but see,
I'm absolutely.
He's not a racist. He's not a racist. He's bigoted. He's bigoted. He don't have the. We don't have that.
The power. We got the power. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We don't have the power. He's
I
bigoted.
I don't have the power to be for my bias. I'm not against anybody. I'm just for mine. That's what I'm doing. That's the real definition of racist. We've been given a poor. We've been given a poor definition of what racism is. And I'm supposed to be for mine, the supremacy of mine, the upbuilding and the upliftment of mine. So when I see corporations like this, I'm not saying that I agree with the way that they handle things, but I do get where they're coming from. Here's another thing. They're supposed to do this because we fell from a very high place. Now, we always speak about Sumeria and Egypt, Ethiopia, Mansa Musa and all of that. So if I was a people that seen a group of people that came from such high standards and I had the chance to take over that empire and they fell from that empire, I would give them nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're going to have to come and take it. You're going to have to come and take it. And you know what? We're not ready to take it right now. We really not. So I understand why they do. I don't agree with it, but I understand why they do the things that they do.
But we do understand it. We do understand it because just because we don't understand it, that don't mean we have to like it and accept it. We don't have to. That's the thing. We voicing our we crying out because it's hurting. That to be in such a hopeless position, and it seems like it's a futile and a hopeless position. Nobody likes being in that type of situation. So now, with this being said, people are talking. They deflecting from the fact that Byron Allen and Comcast have something to do with the Civil Rights Act. And I'm saying these are educated people. These are educated people that talk about how they woke and how they're about their people. I said, well, listen, you about Cynthia Erivo. You about Harriet Tubman. But what about Byron Allen? You ain't about him?
I'm definitely about him.
Yeah, Byron Allen right now is fighting the battle basically by himself because he's using capitalism. He's fighting by their rules, and we always say that. And the only way to defeat something, you got to do it from the inside in. And he's made his way in. He's made it just as far as Bill Cosby. You see what they did to him. But now that he's all the way up there, and Byron ain't passing out pills and raping women, now he got to deal with this. He got to deal with the Trump administration. We got to talk with the DOG. He got a greater battle than that. I hope that he lives through this whole
Let me ask you a question though, because I thought about this also. Right? There's a lot at stake as far as us losing them peeling back our civil rights. Right? It's a lot to lose there. Right? Now I think that's not worth no dollar figure right now. Right? Do you think that Byron Allen is being used as a tool to possibly peel this back? Because I'm quite sure he could say, look, the risk ain't worth the reward. I don't care about the money. Forget Comcast. Our civil rights is more important than us taking this chance and getting our civil rights pulled back. Forget the money.
T2, do we really have any rights? The United States Constitution that's the law of the land right now, and everybody knows that. Is there one thing, and Byron Allen, everybody would consider him as a black man. Is there anything in the Constitution that speaks about a black man, black woman, African American, African descent, indigenous Indian, Native American? Is there anything in the Constitution that speaks about that?
No, they just don't consider us one whole of a man. Where was it? We like 3/5 of a man or something, like 2/5 of.
Actually, that was dealing about that was regarding voting. The 3/5 of a human being.
Yeah.
That was actually regarding voting. It was the breakdown of who would be represented as far as free slaves in comparison to non-free slaves. But to stay on the Byron Allen and the Constitution thing, I agree with you. It may be used to segue back into some form of bondage. I can agree with you on that because the Dred Scott decision has not been overturned by the Supreme Court. So what Byron Allen is fighting for, it's really null and void. Because if they really wanted to snatch everything and put us in bondage, they really can. They're only tolerating us right now. They're only being quote unquote but they can nice. Try this time. That's it.
They tolerate it. They are, but they can try.
They only tolerating T2, and that's real talk.
Yeah, but I think that they getting a lot of pushback. Things is different nowadays, man. I think that we making leeway. I think that they say by the year 2042, we're going to be more of us in the United States than them, more minorities or whatever in the United States than them.
Of color.
Yeah, I think
people classify as people of color, mixed race.
They may be in panic mode. So, like you said, the mixed race that means that our race is getting watered down and their race is getting watered down. So now what they want to do? They went to the states. They went to the states where the most Caucasian women are having abortions and told them they can't have abortions no more. They made it against the law.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who were they having? The question is, who they were having abortions by? Let's really talk about it.
What you mean?
Who they was really having abortions by? They was having abortions
saying that they was mixed.
From. That's what that because if you notice at about the same time that these states or these women was having abortions was right about the same time that they started promoting black women, so-called air quote black women, to be with Caucasian or white men. Right about the same time, because you are what your father is. And 9.5 times out of 10, the father is supposed to control the household. So if you have a bunch of black men that's mixing with white women, sooner or later, you're gonna erase. You're gonna erase. Let's put it like this: black men can erase this whole planet right now, cut and dry.
Right.
Let's keep it growing uncut.
Right.
And that's what the Moors was doing. But we'll touch on the Moors at a later date.
But going back to the importance of what Byron Allen says, we can't afford to lose nothing, man. That's what my main point is, and that's why I throw shots, subs, or whatever they call about it is about Harriet being a movie. It's not about Harriet. This is a biopic. It's not an autobiography. I don't want to see no superhero movies about Harriet Tubman. If you want to tell a story right. For all the woke people out there that's talking about, we self-hated. No, we're not self-hated. Yeah, I understand a black woman wrote it. I know a black woman co-wrote it. I know that she directed it, but she also directed it to make it palatable to the white people who financed it. She made a script that was easy for them to accept and put on the screen. Because if they would have put the whole raw dog story of Harriet Tubman, they wouldn't want that to be seen.
Of course, the same way how they don't want our history to be seen in these textbooks we've been reading coming up.
Exactly.
They don't want nothing to empower us.
Yeah, they don't want to empower us. So all of these woke people that's out here talking, they 1 minute I know a bunch of them. I know a lot of them. They talk the finest. They talk eloquently. I'm not a good orator or narrator, but I know people that speak well, talk well, write well, right? And they got a lot of people on their team. I don't I don't use Facebook as a fan page. I use it like that's my shouting room. When somebody sees something and I want to spring, instead of doing it in one room, I put it on page so the whole world can see. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
when I
that's
speak,
what we.
when I speak, I'm speaking for myself. I'm doing it for me. But what I'm saying is that when people talk about educated people, that's our job. That's my job. Teach my son who Harriet told me that all of the great people that I like. I don't need to let the social media and the TV to continue to teach him
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
true.
where we're going wrong.
That's true. And I mean, and the thing is that we just allowing all these outside sources to teach our kids. It's solely the
Exactly.
TV. It's
Exactly.
solely the school. We
Exactly.
don't interject, and then by the time they get older and we decide to interject, oh, daddy or mommy, you wrong. That's not what
There you go.
X and Y
There
Z
you go.
X and Y X
There
Y
you
Z
go.
say. And you know what's crazy? Speaking of, yo, Sean, where you get that from? That it's whatever your father is. I thought it was whatever your mother is. That's what you are
No,
mostly.
it's
Oh,
not.
that's the mitochondria DNA theory that they spoken about.
Because
Mitochondrial
Is it,
DNA says that the rest there's a recessive and dominant gene. The black gene is the dominant gene. The white gene is the recessive gene, and it's split up into four boxes. You got 70%. You got 25% pure. You got 25% mixed. You got 25% recessive, and then you got pure recessive.
yeah,
So it's
but,
mixed up. But the
but
dominant gene will always be belongs to the black man and the black woman. A
no, that's
white
what I
man
know. What
cannot.
I'm yo, so it's,
Yeah.
I know that part. But what I'm saying
Hmm.
is, all right. So all right, I see what you're saying, Coke. I see what you're
It can't.
saying.
A white man cannot make a black baby.
No,
A
without a
black
doubt,
man can.
can make a white
A
baby
black.
about
Yeah,
albino. Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
We hold what they call the E gene. The black woman has the E gene. She can make any color baby. She can just by their mitochondrial DNA. We can make any color through just time and process.
now,
We
now,
can do that
don't
now,
ourselves.
go to
now,
the Eve seed,
now,
man.
now,
Don't go to
now,
the Eve seed, Coke. That's
The gene.
biblical. We
now,
just
hold
praying
on.
over. Come on, man.
But before we even touching that, you know, it's so crazy. I was doing research, and we was having this conversation. I think in one of the groups or whatever, and I found out that the dude who painted the Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci, he was black.
Hmm. Actually,
His mother was
actually,
a slave. She was Arabian. Arabs are black.
They said the same thing about Mozart, man.
All of them.
All of them.
Beethoven, all of them. But you want to know what? I believe it. I
I do
believe it.
too.
you
I
should.
do too.
You don't have to believe it. I mean, if we're gonna go off of what Coke said, and I do acknowledge what he say, that we are the dominant gene. So in order to be dominant, we had to be first on the planet. So that means everything that came after that is really us, cut and dry. Whether it was stolen, misappropriated, whatever word, adjective, verb that you want to use, all of this is all us. And the reason why you see the world in the uproar right now is because of us, because we out of order. Real talk.
Yeah.
The moment we
Yeah.
get in order, you're gonna see everybody else fall in line. Even in our parts of degeneracy, you still have people following us.
Hold on,
Still,
real quick. For the people who's following us, I need you guys to share out this live, start a watch party, put it in your group, put it on your main page. As you see, we're having real conversation here. It's time for us to start controlling some of our own narrative around here, and I found the two special guys to do it. So yeah, continue.
so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell, we can't blame anything that's going on right now other than on ourselves. Everything that's happening, the controls that they have of the airways, the controls that they have of certain patents, it's really because of us. The moment that we come together, and I mean really come together, not coming together to march, not holding hands, not protesting outside of a nail salon. I'm talking about really mentally, as Coach said earlier, telepathically coming together and being a community or communing in unity. Until that happens, nothing is gonna happen for us. Zero.
That's it. It gotta be one move or no move. It gotta be one move or it gotta be no move. But the hardest thing is, being mentally enslaved and not willing to sacrifice these are things that unfortunately that have been I'm not saying bread is over generations. We got comfortable with, we got complacent. You know, we sitting out here on these iPhones and we got we used to air conditioning. We just creatures of comfort. Those of us still have it. We creatures of comfort right now. And when you start thinking about what you got to give up, what you got to sacrifice, people be like, "Yo, hell no! I'm not giving up my cell phone. I'm not giving up my this, that, and the third." But sacrifice. You know what they say: desperate time calls for desperate measures.
Exactly.
We in desperate times, bro.
But
I mean,
people
you know what I'm saying? I want to be.
people don't see it until you know it directly affects them. To those desperate times, knock on their door personally, and they be like, "Yo, oh, okay, now we need to get together," and things like that. Like even when you look at the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, and with the whole NFL, they wanted the fans to stop watching football. I didn't get that. That's not gonna stop them from playing. His coworkers should have came to him and said, "Look, we are not playing. We got they got a union. It's a union job, right? So if the players don't play, the fans don't have nothing to watch.
Right.
Bottom line, right? But they put the onus on us. Y'all stop. I'm not gonna stop watching football. I want the entertainment. Make me stop watching the football and don't play, so everybody suffer at the same time."
But see, that's where it be deceived. But that's something right there, man. You got to look at what you're saying. That's a small price to pay though to say you stop.
Right.
Because you didn't have to walk out your door. You didn't have to put your life on down. You didn't have to get arrested or nothing. You could have just turned. You know what you could have did? I look at college. I look at college football. I play football, so I could look at any football to entertain me. You know what I'm saying? Any football entertain me. You know what I'm saying? I look at high school football. So those small things, just like it even goes back to Byron Allen. It's a small thing not to go to the movies and spend your fucking money. You forcing somebody to take your money, like that shit is going to be on bootleg. You can go get that shit for $1. You could get that shit for free.
But Coke, where did it stem from? Why do we feel the need to have to give people our money? Let's keep it a buck.
Give them our money. Everybody got a box in the house.
Well, let's be real. Let's be real. We fooled.
Let's keep it
We fooled. I mean, when you look at the Harriet Tubman movie, you're going to be drawn into it as a black person anyway, until you start hearing reviews or whatever you have on it. So we bamboozled by that anyway. So that's different. Like going to the movies, you got to actually leave your house. You got to actually do things. But like I said, with the entertainment and the football, why didn't his coworkers stand next to him?
That's the major thing. Like
that's major.
I mean, and Coke, look at I don't know how I forget his name, the officer who's fighting the NYPD. Oh, Edwin Raymond, right? Look at Edwin Raymond, right? Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is so crazy to me and bizarre, right? I was in a black police officer Facebook group, right? They just kicked me out recently. They found out that I wasn't, a cop, whatever the case was, right? They was like, you saying civilian things, so we had to get you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So
you should have came to me. I'd have gave you a couple of codes.
But this is what I didn't understand about the whole thing, right? In that group, they sat there and complain about racism in the NYPD and how they're treated as black cops, because the group was full of black. It's nothing but black cops there. No white cops was allowed. Black and Puerto Rican, right? So for them to say that racism exists in the NYPD, but they sit there and police their people with these same racist tactics, it makes no sense to me. And when you look at someone like Edwin Raymond, who's fighting a very serious fight, right? Why don't he have more black police officers supporting him? I don't get that.
Well, it's for the same reason that young man that got shot in the projects by the I don't know, Oriental or Asian police officer. Look how many people came to his aid. His community came to his aid.
Listen. I was there. I was on the courthouse steps with me and Charles Byron. It was embarrassing. It was only like 15 people. 15 people.
The community came to the Oriental. In a nutshell, he don't have a community behind him. That's why you fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah,
that's why you're fighting, because you don't have a community behind you.
And you know, that's why I respect the Jews, how they run their community. You cannot you do something to one of them, and you getting chased outside that border. And they border have expanded. Before they had Waynesburg, now they going to damn near Gates Avenue and Nostrand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
and nobody that looks like you and I gonna touch him either.
You could get chased up from out of the way, but as far as political reasons, we don't have. See, there's a central power system now we totally missing. The Jews have one. Okay, when one of them go down to the precinct, they have cliques. They have precincts. That yeshiva, whatever that shit is, that synagogue,
yeshiva,
those are home bases for them. That's home base for them. Their congregation can be like 300, 1,000 to 1,000 people. It's a community. But when that one rabbi goes down there with 5, 6 of them and say, we want this done and that done for that person, not only do they have the whole community, they have a power base that they put into play. They have Jews in the community that are up there on council, that sit up there on council.
They vote their people in.
But why are they?
They loyal. They loyal to their religion. The
religion is a facade. That's really a facade. They put that out there for people to believe.
But what I'm saying is, it's a stolen religion. But at the same time, it's their power base. It's that they created a power base out of it. So our power base is tainted. It's manipulated.
See, that's what I believe Malcolm X wanted for us. The same thing how with the Jews having their community, Malcolm wanted that for us.
That's what
Elijah Muhammad wanted that. Muhammad wanted that.
I mean, it don't matter. Both of them did. Ain't nothing wrong with saying both of them.
Elijah Muhammad, I mean, if Malcolm X really wanted it, he wouldn't have broke ranks.
Well, going into Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad did. He was separatist. There was no white Muslims.
Absolutely.
But Malcolm X, when he took the Hajj, he saw that Muslims come at every age. So there's a distinction. I do agree. There's a distinction.
But I don't care if you're a black Muslim. I don't care if you're a black Muslim, black Jew, or anything like that. You can be black, whatever, but you ain't gonna marry one of their women. Cut and dry. You ain't gonna marry one of their sisters, nieces.
What? A Jewish woman? What are you talking about?
It's a black Jew, black Greek, black whatever. You're not gonna really be a part of their community. You're never gonna be a part of their community.
Orthodox.
You never.
I see. It depends what type of Jew though. I think the Orthodox Jews, you not gonna get in.
And Hasidic.
You're not going to get in.
So what Jew are you going to be? Well, what black man is ever going to be a part of any Jewish community? I'm talking about the community, not studying the religion. Be a part of the community. And I tried this. I've experimented with this with men that were so-called black Jews and spoken with so-called white Jews. I've spoken with Arabs and all that. I'm an experimentalist. So I ask these type of questions out in the field just to see, what's going to go on. And I asked even an Arab, I was like, yo, can this man, can he marry your sister? He was like, who? I said, the same man that studied the same religion as you. I don't know about that. I said, well, then one of y'all need to reevaluate who y'all worshiping to, because somebody got it wrong.
I mean, let's be real. This is not limited to only Jews. You have some Puerto Ricans. You have some Hispanics that don't want them to mess with black people. You have some blacks that don't want their kids to mess with white people.
And they are right, because if you want to get on the biblical and the creator and all that, everybody was made for their own specific group. Cut and dry. I'm not mad at any Hispanic that say, father, be like, yo, look, don't rock with them over there. Because I went to DR. I seen the separation in the Dominican Republic. I seen it in different countries. Germany, and different things like that. Greenland, Iceland. I've seen it. So they make sure that they stay separate. It's not just happening in America.
Right.
But let me ask you this: if the black man is the supreme being on earth, everything is ours. Why should anything be separated from us? Everything is ours. The earth is our turf.
Yeah,
But there was women that was created for us, which is air quote the black women or the brown women or copper women or whatever, bronze women. They was created for us. And that's one of the reasons why our kingdoms fell. That's one of the primary reasons, because we lost our way. Everything that you see in the Bible and the Apocrypha and all of that, everything that is speaking about is us losing our way. The Israelites, they're nothing but a lost people. That's it. They're lost people. When you hear about Israelites, we lost our way. And until we gain our way, nothing is ever going to go right for us. And that's cut and dry. That's real talk.
Yeah, but there's a big thing with, like you said in the beginning, when somebody removes you from your seat of power, they're not going to give it back to you willingly to go back to where they came from. So with the big, when you said that we all got to be on one mindset, this is what the first thing that we need to understand is that nobody's going to give us back the place that we belong, the places that we started. So everything that happened, basically, when you were saying it's our fault, it's our fault. I can't say whether it's our fault totally, because human nature is a funny thing. People mix, people migrate, different things happen for you. You have a mulatto. And which from the mulatto, you have mulatto and a mulatto until you just come down to having people with lighter skin or people in climates or evolved in to survive different climates or whatever they want to say, evolution. However, people evolved into what they are. The thing about it is, though, somehow the black man has become the person that you never want to see again back in power. And why is that? Why do you think that?
Because they know that this whole game is over.
But what about the game? What part of the game will be over?
He better not.
All of the misunderstandings, the misconceptions that's going on, the unlawfulness that's going on in the police department, because we are the original law and orders on this planet. Everything would get back in alignment. And you know what? Everyone is not going to be accepting of that alignment. The moment that and that's why you had to remove the black man out the gate. That was the whole point. Remove the black man. Indoctrinate your children, and then you have what I call your wounded womb warriors. They want to hold the black woman up on a pedestal, and the white man was like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it," and snatch her right off the pedestal. Thanks a lot, bro. Now I'm gonna go mix with her.
You know what's crazy? Speaking of the police, they took a big blow during this election, where the CCRB is allowed to now do more strict investigations on them. You know, and guess what? Guess what? Burrow voted almost more than every other borough, huh?
Unanimously.
No, almost. Who voted for this the most? Guess what borough voted for this the most?
Brooklyn.
No. I'm talking about that went with the police officers.
That went with them?
Yeah.
Staten Island went with them.
Staten Island, exactly. And we know why.
Staten Island is the hub of everything. You talk, it ain't Bay Ridge. It's not Bay Ridge. It's Staten Island.
Staten Island, yeah.
It's Staten Island. You don't got to worry about Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst. It's Staten Island. That's what you need to be aware of. That's where they all go. Staten Island and Long Island.
Yeah, Staten Island is the most conservative part of this region right now. That place is crazy. You know they say gangsters don't die, they get chubby and move to Miami. Nah, they in Staten Island, kid.
I'm trying to tell you.
but my question is, right, with all of these gangbangers out here, right? How are they even letting the police do what they do? How are they not policing their own neighborhood? How you letting, like you said earlier, how these Jews is all moving into your neighborhood? I mean, these dudes, they willing to bang on their own. You want to bang on somebody because they got blue or they got red. How you letting somebody come into your neighborhood?
I mean, I'm glad
you ain't banging on them.
I'm glad you brought that up because I got to bring something on the screen. I'm glad you segued into that, and I want to show you guys this new Nike
Uh oh.
This new Nike bandana. Y'all see it? Could y'all see it?
Not yet. Not yet, T2.
I don't know why it's not on the screen. But hold on. Give me one second.
We caught the videos.
Matter of fact, let
Nike
me
bandana.
yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the Nike bandana on the screen. And
What Nike making bandanas for?
Hold on.
I'm gonna show it to
Yo,
you right now. I'm gonna show it to you
all
right
right.
now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Could you guys see it now? Yeah, no, hold on. Exactly. But I'm gonna show you something. Coke. What's the difference between that bandana? Oh, hold on 1 second. Wow, how did I do that? That bandana and this bandana. What's the difference? We know that. Other than the check symbol. Exactly. So if someone got this bandana on and you don't see the check signal or you in the dark, this is going to spell trouble. You know, I heard that these companies have been playing into the gang culture with the colorways of their sneakers and all this other stuff. I totally believe that.
You think they won't when they want? Everything is marketed. Listen,
It's
everything is
marketing.
marketed for somebody. They know blue and they know red. They know everything is marketed for somebody. They know the trouble. They know the trouble colors present, and they still make shit. They not interested at all in preserving no person's life. Like Craig said, it's about paper. It's about paper. They're not going to still. They're not going to stop selling blue sneakers and red sneakers. Why should they? That's not their problem. They not going. And if they can make money off of bandanas, they're going to sell them shits too. They don't care about the problems that it causes to people. Now they just like they made that red one.
Yeah.
Watch, they're gonna make a blue one.
Oh,
They're
without
gonna
a
make
doubt.
another. They're
Then
gonna
it's
make
Oh,
gonna be
another.
without a
yellow.
doubt.
The last thing they're gonna make is black. A color that makes sense, or white, a color that will
They're
make
not gonna
sense.
make no red, black, and green. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
They're not gonna make a red, black, and green. Trust me.
Red, blue, and gold.
Yeah, they not go.
They
They
ain't
no
gonna do that.
no colors of Africa. They not gonna make that.
No, they're not
They're
doing
not
that.
gonna make that.
So
But
anything,
I
anything
don't
that they
fault
can.
Nike. I don't fault Nike. I fault the fact that in order for this to even happen, right? Somebody's gonna come. First of all, I haven't even met any 50, 60-year old bloods or whatever. This is all for the young culture. So when a child comes in or when a parent gives a child money to buy a bandana, it's up to them to check that household. They come in there with a red hat or whatever the case might be. It's up to the parent. If you let this go on, then it's going to continue to
It's
go
gonna
on.
go on. Yeah.
That's until it visits your doorstep. Because I guarantee you, if any one of us was to come to the doorsteps of majority of the parents, like, hey, look, we want to inform you about the gang culture, this, that, and the other. We just taking a small donation. No, 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 no. Where my money going? Nah, what's all that about? But as soon as one of their children get shot by a stray bullet because of some gangs that was fighting in the neighborhood, then it's like, oh, come to this car wash, buy this T-shirt. Oh, can you contribute for the funeral? It's like, well, wait a minute. 3-4 months ago, I came to your door asking you to support my movement, and now you want me to support a dead movement when I was giving you a live one? Negative. I'm not doing it. Not doing
And see that you know what though you know what I just it's a sad situation where we don't have no kind of loyalty, no trust. Not saying every place, not saying because there's a lot of people
it.
that
Right,
could
right.
that
Hold on,
they
T2.
they it's a lot of people that contribute to funeral funds. It's just that you can't go door to door asking somebody to contribute. It's you can ask people. You can't ask our people a lot of times to contribute to worthy causes. That's that's bad. That's bad, yo. That's bad. And there's nothing there's nothing there you can even say or suggest as a solution because we're not the first ones. This is
Exactly.
nothing new. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
things
and
are just so
and
badly
that's a
broken.
problem.
Yeah, things are so badly broken that the only thing you can say is, yo, you just can't give up. You just can't give up because we still here. For some reason or the other, we still here. You just
But
can't give up.
brother, it's a problem when you can leave a trailer full of weapons in the heart of Chicago, and and they don't hold on to these weapons to protect their family or to police their neighborhood. They go and kill each other with it. That's a problem, B.
It's the mind, bro. It's the mind. It's the mind, brother. Instead of
That's a
them
shit.
setting up, instead of them taking all those weapons and fortifying the neighborhood and making sure, like the Panthers did, to secure their neighborhood and come out on the block when the police wanted to act up, they want to show everybody what they got and then use it on each other. And
See,
that's
I
where
mean,
the mind goes.
but
What's up, T?
we got to take it back to the whole conditioning of how everything start from young. You know,
Yep.
one thing that I don't allow my son to know or practice is Santa Claus. Why? Because as a child, 2 years old, 3 years old, right? You are taught to respect this fairy tale white man who's going to bring you gifts if you act right during the year. Forget your parents. Your parents bust their ass all year to give all this credit to a big white man whom is a
Right.
fairy tale, right? So from that age, it teach you I have to be good or this white man is not going to get me any gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not
Why
stop at Santa Claus though.
why as a black parent you would take all your credit and dish it to a fairy tale character? It makes no sense.
Because you've
Well,
been
let's not
indoctrinated.
stop at let's not
You're
stop
right.
at
You said
Santa
you've been
Claus.
indoctrinated, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So all right, we ain't gonna stop at Santa Claus. Go ahead.
I mean, keep going. We have what? We have Valentine's Day. What else we have? We have the Fourth of July. Um, but come on, get name a couple of more for me.
I mean,
Thanksgiving,
you have all of them, all the pagan holidays, right? So
Listen,
right?
I'm Muslim. I don't believe in none of them. I take the day off. I just treat it as a day off. I don't believe in none of
Right.
that shit. So,
Yeah.
so as long as it's a day off, I'll take that shit. If you want to
But
cook
T
out
two,
barbecue,
T
they
two.
can have
I
all
agree
that.
with you. You start off lying to your children at an early age, and you do give up your credit. So when they begin lying to you, I mean, we can even take it. We can take it back further before they even come out the womb. I've heard plenty of parents say, "Oh, I don't know what's gotten into you," and I say to myself, like, hold on, you probably was out late, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, hanging out, and then you get mad when a child want to hang out 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, well, you had them out that late. How dare you criticize them for wanting to be out that late?
Yeah, yeah.
It
For
starts
them
in the
type of
womb.
babies. Yeah, for them type of babies that get dragged in the street. Yeah, dude. It started a long time ago. Even like you said, in the womb, when you're not getting your rest, you throwing off the baby's time cycle, the rest cycle. You up the babies up.
hmm
And when they get big, if you one of them type of people that drag their babies out, come picking them up 12, 3 o'clock, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that, that child, the later hours get to getting impressed on them. So it's not no issue for them to be up late nights and stuff like that. So there's a lot of bad habits that start from early ages and stuff like that. A lot of stuff that we go through is through conditioning. But what do we do to reverse the conditioning that we've been through?
That's the
For
big question.
example,
What do you
that's the
do?
big, yeah.
We start
And it's
teaching.
like so I'm sorry, Chris. It's like this shit right here is the equivalent. The shit we on is the equivalent of detoxing off of dope. That's a hard thing to do to get a person off of dope. That's what this is.
Well,
That's what I mean in layman terms. Is to get somebody off of a dope habit. This is what we going through as a people. It's
We
hard to fucking do it. It's painful.
Well, it starts the same way that T2 was talking about. Don't lie to your children early. Don't tell your daughter that it's okay, girl, go out and experience the world because a lot of them parents, they be living vicariously through their daughters. Some of the fathers be trying to live vicariously through their sons, things that they did not complete or couldn't complete when they was coming up through childhood. They try to push it into their children and end up destroying the minds of their children. Don't lie to your children. Tell them out the gate, like T2 said. Yo, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Santa Claus, don't give up your credit.
But
Yo,
you want
this is me. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
no, but you want to know what the thing is that sometimes the parents is not educated enough to know the damage that they doing, passing this down from generation to generation.
Because you can't tell them nothing.
So just like I think we spoke about this the last time, Coke, in my grandmother's house, I guess she was lied to because she had a white Jesus on her wall.
We did, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
grandmother too. God bless.
yeah. So I don't know if they didn't know better. I don't know what the case was. I don't know if they really read the Bible. I don't know where they got this information from. But if you read the Bible, you see that there's a conflict between this white Jesus and what's actually described in the Bible, right? So
Well,
in order for us to actually to change what's going on, hold on a second. For us to actually change what's going on, we have to unlearn and relearn. I forgot who said that. You know what I'm saying? We got to unlearn and relearn. So it's going to have to start with us building our own schools. Getting no Santa Claus, none of that other stuff. Black History Month is not February. It's every month of the year. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk superior talk, or we go continue to be inferior to everything else.
I'm with that.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Definitely.
But we in alignment with that, we also got to make superior moves as well. And I can't give credit. I don't blame women for a lot of the things that's going on, because you know what? At the end of the day, women are going to try to survive, and women is going to go towards security. They're going to go to the most secure entity that they possibly can. At the end of the day, I blame men for a lot of shit that's happening. It is definitely our fault because we left a lot of our women and children out in the wilderness. I'm not going to play sides on it. Yeah, the women do take some responsibility. You ain't got to open your legs to, to everybody that you see. But at the same time, the men, you gotta make this choice. Like, yo, you did this. Yo, you gotta take responsibility for it, man.
I mean, yo, man, I hear what you're saying, but it's not as cut as dry as you make it seem.
I don't
like
much for nothing.
Yeah,
you said you were racist. You said, I'm sorry. You said now I gotta come out my back.
What's up?
Yeah,
it is cut and dry.
My girl that everybody call me, she'd say, yeah, I'm a racist. I'm gonna just can't say right there. I gotta be, because I ain't blaming us for nothing. I'm not blaming black women for nothing anyway. The whole plan by design is we know what their plan was. They removed us. They removed us from the house. They humiliated us in front of our women in slavery. They forced our women to do what they had to do to survive. I don't blame that black woman for nothing. I don't have to like what she's doing. I don't have to like what she's doing, but I can understand it. That don't mean I accept what she's doing, and I don't have to like it. But I know why she's doing that, because it was a plan by design. They made her feel, and they made them feel unprotected. They took us out the house. They humiliated and embarrassed us. You understand what I'm saying to you? They made it hard for them when they was alone for us to be in the house with them. In order for you to feed your kid and you didn't have a job, you send your wife to go get welfare, and you know this is a fact, see? In order for you to live in public houses or to get assistance, you could not have a man in the house.
Because they came and checked, and if a man was in the house, you lost your benefits.
You lost your house. Mm-hmm. You lost your crib. They did this. This is by design. This is in any war tactic. You killed the male and you killed the male children, right? You killed the male and you killed the male children, and you take their women, right? So what did they do to us? What did they do to us? This is by design. So I don't blame brothers and sisters from the years of conditioning. And now we try to.
But before they physically killed, killed the black man, what did they kill first?
Listen, bro, they kill your spirit. That shit kill your spirit. When somebody, you know what I'm saying? I've seen enough slave movies.
They killed the soul, brother.
They kill your soul.
You came from an era. Yo, Coke, I know you came from an era where people wasn't talking about spirit. They killed the soul, right? Along with the soul came the mind, then the body followed. Come on, bro. We're not gonna do that. You came from that era.
Right. And I say not always equate the spirit and the soul as one. Those are things that I thought as one. But I'm just saying to you, after years and years of seeing this in front of your eyes, it creates a level of hopelessness, and then it just seeps into you, and it just never leaves. It just has a way of seeping into you. They say trauma. They saying through the Holocaust that the Holocaust survivors have
Right.
is the Holocaust has caused the DNA to be
Hmm.
interrupted or to be infiltrated by the trauma. So if they have 40 years of trauma and we have 400 years of trauma, who you think is
No,
the
no,
more
no, no, no,
damaged
no.
people?
They had the Holocaust lasted 12 years. Slavery lasted 400 and change.
Okay,
So if anybody
right,
DNA is
it's
altered,
it's damaged.
it's
It's ours.
ours.
But this is the study. This is the study. I'm saying, well, I'm just talking about the World War. That's that World War II shit. I'm just talking about the years the war was fought. But I'm just saying,
Hmm.
our shit is damaged beyond not beyond repair, but to a point where it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's got to take willingness to get back to a better place. But as far as us taking the blame for what we do, nah, that's not our fault. It's not our fault. And people, you could get all these bougie Negroes and all these doctors and all this shit that tell you that we know better, we did better, we superior. Listen, after you damage something, it's damaged. You have to take time to fix it. We ain't got time to get fixed not one step of the way. We ain't ever had a time to fail. So don't blame it on the black women. And don't blame it on brothers, because right now they shooting you, putting you in jail, incarcerating you. The thing that people got to be reminded of it before Reconstruction, the prison system was 90% before slavery. The prison system in America was 90% white men. Soon as slavery ended, how did it flip from 90% white men to 90% black men? Because they criminalized us and re-slaved us, renamed it, repackaged us. All right, and they still do that to this day. So all of the damage is continuous and perpetual. It's perpetual. It's not. It hasn't ended. It's been rebranded, redesigned.
And we
So
getting
everybody
attacked
got,
from all angles too.
of course, they attacking us. They're attacking our women. They're attacking our kids. What angle we not
But
being attacked from?
why wouldn't we get attacked? I'm not saying again. I'm not saying that I agree with it. We're supposed to get attacked from all angles because we used to be control of all angles.
But see, listen what I'm saying to you. You saying the question why. I understand you asking the question why. I need you to start saying what we gonna do about it. Because you sounding right now when you say that, you sounding like
I got I got the answer.
you, no, you sounding like you when you agree with somebody with something that happened. You can't sound like you agreeing with what's happening. You can say you understand it, but when you say why shouldn't it happen to it, you
But
sounding like you
but I got the answer,
agreeing with it.
Coach.
Good.
No, I said I don't agree. I don't agree with the way that it's happening. But we used to be in control of all angles. But I got
Yes.
the answer. Here's the foolproof answer right here to stop all of this shit in 24 hours. You want to hear the answer? I put it on your
Yeah.
page before. Stop
Nah,
being
put it
black.
on. Stop being black.
So stop being black and be what?
Stop being black.
Being, stop being
Regroup.
black. He's saying just being
But
man.
just the same way that the Jews do it. What do? Now we ain't white. We Jewish. Stop being black. Stop being African American. Stop being indigenous. Stop being Native American. Stop being everything that everyone else wants us to be, and be who we are naturally. Find who we are. I don't care what gotta happen to make for it to happen. Stop being black because there's a certain there's a certain characteristic that's associated with all
Stigmatism.
of those names, and they
Stigmatism.
keep it, and they keep circling. Oh, black man this. I mean, now we're savages. Now we're bathing apes. Now all of these things, and we are literally allowing them to disrespect us. Yo, shout out to Local 100 for that disrespectful DMX and all of that shit that was going on. I'm a rip into y'all when I get to the train operators board meeting. I'm just letting that be known, T2. I'm gonna let them have it because that was very disrespectful, giving away free shit. And let's get back to it. I'm coming for you, Zach, and all y'all. I'm gonna let y'all have it at the meeting. But
I heard that.
yeah, I'm gonna let them have it. But anyway, shout out to Local 100 for that bullshit. So if we stop being black, I'm talking about in 24 hours, right? If we say, yo, we're not gonna take this no more. I don't want to be called by these names. Zimbabwe did it the moment they gained their independence. They changed their name because they knew the power of words. They knew the energy that was on words. You see all these buildings that's going on around here. These are perfectly fine buildings. When these construction companies come in, what do? They flatten the building because they know the energy that's on these buildings. There's an energy that's on Black, Native American, and all that. Yo, stop being that. Let's just group together. Let's collectivize and draw back and come up with a plan. One plan, right? And go back.
You talking about all people of color. You talking about Native, Indigenous. You talking about Indigenous. I'm talking about the Indigenous. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters that's already here, that don't know they was here. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters that they call that's Native Indians, what they call Indians, which are not Indians, but the people that were here. You talking about everybody of that's not. You talking about all non-whites, all non-whites.
I'm talking about people like you and I, brother.
African descent.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But see, and that's the thing. Why would you, if you once ruled a planet, why would you lock yourself off to a continent?
To a what? To a continent? Nobody.
Why would you lock yourself off to a continent?
Nobody did that. Even countries. Africans told you they don't know about boundaries. They don't. The African people would tell you. The old Africans tell you they didn't have countries. They just knew where they lived. There wasn't no such thing as no boundaries. White man boundaries is a white man thing. That's a white man.
Okay, so why we not calling ourselves Asians? Because to keep it a buck, we not separated from that portion of the world. Why we not calling ourselves Europeans?
Because that's a European construct. That's a whole European construct. They had to rename things to make it to separate people. They did that. They did that. That's not our contract.
So why did we lock ourselves off? Why did we allow someone else to lock us off into one continent?
But we were brought. But see, this is the thing. Those of us that's here have no idea why the people who were left behind allow what to happen to them. Because I guess Africa's so big that they couldn't communicate from continent to continent like they can now. The communication lines were not as strong. So it's easy for a white man to come in and sneak his way in and do his dirt and sneak back out. But today, in today's world, if we had the communication abilities that we had, and we saw all of this coming, we could lock down the continent in no time. But the boundaries that people call countries, Africans really did not have that. They just had their people. That's why there's so many tribes. There's so many people. They didn't have boundaries like that. The white man came and carved it up.
And then now they making walls now. The boundaries on the map isn't good enough. Now they making walls, you know.
Right, exactly. Now they making wars. Even the Mexican, the indigenous people that live in California, people in California think that they living in a white man's land. California is fucking part of Mexico, man.
Absolutely.
That's Mexico. You talking about you want to build a wall in Mexico? That's that people's land. They was coming across that border, ain't nothing to them. Their ancestors been walking past that motherfucker all their life.
And Texas too. Texas.
But hold on, the last time I remember it, I mean, just to get with you on that, well, why are we focusing so much on the South? I do remember the United States of America having two borders.
Just you talking about North and South America?
I'm talking about Canada.
But it's all one body mass. It's all one body mass. The only one that came here that did that division shit is these white folk. I don't think this migration does not. And for migration to take place, people do not have borders and say you cannot come here. They say you cannot settle here because they might say we have too many people, and then that group moves on and establishes their own part. But they don't make borders where you have to stay on this side of the line and you can't come across this line because this is mine. As long as you don't come and violate, everything was all good. The white man is the only man that come in and do the shit that he do, dividing. This is mine.
Because he moved with a purpose. And I'm I'm not.
It's nothing wrong with that. It's actually nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
There's lines T2 right now. There's lines. There's lands right now that they have to look down onto from a helicopter. See, those people, they know you don't look like me, you don't speak like me. The moment you touch these lands, it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap. It's over. And that's how it should have been. Well, people call it slavery. I call it prisoner of war. And that's the mindset we got of. They won't call it prisoners of war because that's the only way that this will happen. The moment you start saying that we prisoners of war, you're going to have black men and women having warrior mindsets. and that's going to
Okay.
change the whole game. But anyway,
Okay. I got you. That's true.
you,
That's
you
true.
you get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah,
I feel
you
you.
get what I'm saying. We
I
we gonna
feel
keep
you.
it clean for the television.
I
But the
feel you.
moment that they came to these lands, yo, it should have been a wrap. So let's just say we had a couple of people that sold us out. So now we do get sold to because they was really peasants because England kicked them out. Your founding fathers was peasants. And that's for everybody
Peasants.
that's watching. I'm sorry if you feel a certain way. Yes, your founding fathers was peasants. They empty out the jails in
The
England.
jails, right. That's what they
They
was.
emptied out the L's the
Prisons.
same way Castro did. I just
That's
want to
what they
let you know. I'm
did.
sorry if you feel a kind of way about it, but they were peasants. We was the real founding fathers and founding mothers of this country before it was called the United States of America. But even when we was in quote air quote bondage, we was cooking a food, right? Our people, our ancestors were cooking a food, shaving them, picking cotton for them, wheat, and all kinds of things. Could you imagine all those people that's on a field? You have just a couple of people in a household sucking off the breasts of a black woman. It's like
Yeah.
I just seen a
oh,
picture of
okay,
that the
yeah,
other day.
yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy. T2, how do you take somebody's daughter, niece, wife, or something like that, bring them into the house, you rape them? I swear, everything that would have been on my mind every single day, T2, yo, how am I gonna kill this motherfucker? That's all that would have been on my mind during slavery. And if I was back there, they probably would have hung me a long time ago.
I
See,
know
you
I
want to
would
know
have.
what you want to know. It was a lot of things going on during that time. I mean, one of the biggest things that bothered me about slavery is how did it happen? How did how did they get us on those slave ships? How when we got to America we didn't rebel? And I understand you're in a foreign land. It's a foreign language that they speaking to you.
Did rebel.
They probably killed a lot of Africans who was speaking their own language. Who
Now, now
who
let's we gonna
They
go a
did rebel.
thousand with it, right? We
They
was
did
at
rebel.
100 T2. We gonna go a thousand with it. You a businessman, and Coke is a businessman. Let's really run this slave thing. Let's really run it through. So what you're saying to me is, I'm gonna take people, right? Let's just talk about progressive action. I'm gonna go to Poland, and I'm gonna capture some people from Poland, and I'm gonna get them to work for progressive action. And when they don't understand me, I'm gonna whip their backs. I'm gonna starve them. I'm gonna rape their women. I'm gonna ask them to work in the fields of progressive action. Does that sound business like?
of course it's business.
That's business. How long would it take you to get them to speak English and work for progressive action?
I mean, it depends how much fare you put into them. That's how I look at it.
To but let's go here. We have people that came from a land that wasn't theirs either, that didn't speak the language, that came from a monarchy, but you set up a democratic system. So my question is who did you come in contact with that had a democratic system that was already in America? I'll wait.
Who?
But they here. Their people was here. People, this is what
Oh,
people you
but you said
the
Africa,
people
brother. I'm
but they did.
you
But
pulled
they
us from
but that's a
Africa. I'm
real
just saying, as a businessman,
I want to say
as a
as a
businessman.
businessman, I want to say something to you. I regret the day that I saw this and didn't save it. I think I think I took a screenshot of it. But there's a place, there's some location in Louisiana of all places where there's a brother that went into a building and he saw an actual map of what this country looked like. And there were people here. There were cities here already. You know those mounds, they have mounds all over the place, all over the place.
Hmm.
Those was places where people lived. There's thousands
Right.
and there's pyramids here, there's mounds. People lived here. All of the places that you see countries' names, I shit you not. I seen it and I don't know why I didn't save it. This young brother went into these crackers actually saved the map. Actually saved the fucking map of the United
Hmm.
States before these crackers came and took it over. And it shows you how there was cities and there was places that were already developed. And so when you say it's a democracy, where did they learn it from? Of course, people already said that there were people already here. We know there was
Absolutely.
people already here. We already know that
Absolutely.
people was here. But that did not diminish the fact that millions of people, which brought on like a bus runs every day, These motherfuckers have boats running every day,
They,
every day. There's
they
countless
didn't they
money.
didn't have the technology. They didn't have the technology at that time, Coke.
So you
See
trying to
too, they
say
didn't have that technology.
Sean, you trying to say that black people was involved heavily in the slave trade? Because if they
I'm
didn't,
not saying that the. God, I'm listening.
so who had the technology then?
To move that many people, they've been up in the numbers since 2009. They every 2 years or every 3 years they go from 10 million to 12 million to 23 million. They keep up in the numbers. They didn't have the technology at that time to move that many
Yeah, sure they
people.
did.
And
Sure they
and
did.
and if I mean, brother, we had one brother that tried that, and it took him 30 days. 30 days, and he didn't even hit North America. What he did was hit South America. So that whole shit is a lie. Slavery was told in reverse. What they really was shipping over
I
here
believe that.
was their peasants. They were shipping their peasants over here. We already had people here. As a businessman, both of y'all as businessmen, it only makes sense to capture the people that's already here, that speak the
Yes.
language, that already have a
Yes.
democracy. And that's real talk, T.
Yes.
I'm not
Uh,
saying,
Yes.
don't get me wrong, T. I'm not saying that the Atlantic slave trade didn't happen. It
Okay,
just
that's what I
didn't
want you to
happen.
say.
yeah. No,
Right.
it makes sense. It makes
Right.
sense. And then you
No,
got to
that
understand
that
this
that's
too.
what I'm saying.
It had slavery was for 400 years, so they probably was making the slaves make babies because they was making the little
That's the
kids.
other thing.
Yeah, we've
That's
been
the
here
other thing.
400 years is a long time, so we
That's the other thing.
populated
Longer
so
than that.
much. We
They didn't tell you
populated
about
so
the
much.
mills. They didn't tell you about the breeding
Longer than that.
farms.
Who
The breed
who
you
had
said
who had
you
us
said
in
breeding farms.
who had us?
That's what they were.
Oh
Breeding
yeah,
farms.
in Maryland.
They
Maryland,
had
well, what
breeding
we know
farms.
now is Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina. Those were all breeding farms along the coast. You're right.
Yeah.
What we know that land to be now,
That's
all along the
but
coast. But
the
but
tech
but prior to the Polish, the Dutch, prior to them, that's why it's more than 400 years. Who had us in bondage prior to that?
Ooh,
The same people that you call op to this day. You go to their corner stores and you call them brothers. The Arab, the Poles, and the Dutch learned it from the Arabs, and they still got black people in slavery right now. Can't
but the
nobody
thing
tell me otherwise. I know for reality.
see the thing
They
about
they
that
have
is
black children that's picking up. I was brother. I was in Iraq and they had black children picking up mines, brother.
listen,
You heard me? Can't nobody
listen,
tell me. I don't need a history book
listen.
for this.
I'm not the thing about it is a brother just got on I posted it on. He said, how can your faith stand up? How can your belief stand up? If your belief can't stand up to a lie, if you can't hold on to your belief because a question was asked of you, then you don't have no belief. If you don't have no room to question your belief, then you don't have no belief. You understand what I'm saying to you? So if I can't answer the question, I can't answer the question. But that's not going to allow nobody to knock down what my faith system is. So when you say that Muslims Muslims were just an integral part of slavery, I believe you and I know it for a fact. I know it for a fact. But the thing about it was that what I accepted was I can expect somebody saying that they accept a higher power because that's in their heart. Then you saying that a white Jesus came down and told me that I got to do what you said do. You can't tell me the story of white Jesus and expect for me to be a Christian no more. You could say to me a man changed his heart one day and said that this is what he's going to do. He's going to pray 5 times a day and he's going to listen to the scriptures. But you can't tell me why
Mhm.
Jesus is going to save me. You can't tell me why Jesus is my only way to the next life or that's the only thing
I,
I'm believing.
I would never
No,
I
you
would
can't.
never tell you that, Coke.
No,
I would never tell you
not
that.
you. But as
Yeah, I would
far as
never
the
tell you that. And no
horrors,
man can tell you that because
right.
the J
No, as
didn't
far
even
as the
exist at that time.
right,
But go ahead.
right. But as far as the horrors, is there any faith system? And anybody that want that's trash. Any faith system has its good and it has its bad. For the people that had a faith that went in and had war. See, slavery and prisoners of wars existed at all times because tribes fight against each other.
mm-hmm.
And they take people and they convert them to this tribe and that tribe and whatever. The problem
Hmm.
is when you take somebody from their tribe and you abuse them. See, African tribalism is different in I mean, the The Muslim conquest was different because they were trying to build an empire. So they took their prisoners of wars and converted them into their belief system, but they never gave them the same rank that they say in the Quran that they're supposed to have. You understand? The Quran say that's your Muslim brother. Once you capture a brother and he converts to Islam, he's no longer a slave. He's your brother. And I have a problem with that. So that's the early beginnings of Islam. That's the early beginning of Islam. So nobody doesn't have to educate me on how Islam captured people in slaves, but men has been always fighting and warring among each other and enslaving each other. The worst part of slavery was the white man's form of slavery. This chattel slavery and all the things that they did to people as human beings, nobody can match that.
Because there always been some form of slavery on Earth. Indentured slavery basically. But that chattel slavery was a totally the chattel slavery, the politics. Who created politics? The marginalization of a certain race, and that goes on today. And even in 2019, they still trying to repeal the little things that we got, and they want to reform us back. They want to take us back. When Trump said "Make America Great Again," that was the dog whistle. They not playing around, man.
They not playing.
But T2, Coke. All right, you know the real reason why when I said I had the answer to, and we could change this shit in 24 hours is stop being black. We're gonna keep it a buck for YouTube, Progressive Action TV, and all that. The moment that you stop being black, white stops existing. You feel me? Because that's the only reason why that black exists.
I give you claps for that. That sounds powerful. That sounds powerful. But
and that's real talk, folks. And when I used to come on your page, brother, I didn't want to do it on your page, and we always bang all the time, and it's all love, like we do it right now, brother. I promise you, the words have power. The moment that you stop with the black thing, white cease to exist, and they will be confused. They were like, yo, so what do we call them? They're gonna have to change the way that they test. They're gonna have to change schools. They're gonna have to change. The whole planet will freeze the moment you stop accepting it. I promise you that, brother. And that's the future. That's future talk right now.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because it's not fair. Like you say, stop being black. I still think that we need something to identify with for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we should just be free. Stop being black. I think that we should be something to identify with.
Absolutely. I agree with you, T. Absolutely.
You can call me
Say that again.
Listen,
say that again.
Call me a man.
Say that again.
You can call me a man.
That's what I'm talking about. Because when you're a man, you can look over all men. Say that again. That's what I'm talking about. Right? You are a man.
I know what I am. I know what I am, and I know what I look like. But when you start classifying people and start putting rules, attaching stigmatism and rules to what you could do to that person, what you can't do to that person, then it's a problem. But see, the thing about it, there's an infrastructure that's been set up. See, you saying they got to stop doing this and they got to stop doing that. They don't got to stop doing nothing. Whether you call yourself a man, cat, dog, walk, or whatever you want, you can say you the black, you the wall, you a Polish spring bottle. You could be whatever you want to be. They're going to treat you the way they use it because that's the nature of the beast. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what the devils do. That's what they're going to do. So you say, I understand what you're saying. When you stop accepting a derogatory term or inferior treatment, then your mind starts to change. You start saying, I'm not going to stop this from happening. I'm not going to stop it. But the minute that you stand still, they're going to call the boys to tell you, oh, you can't stand in the middle of the sidewalk. You got to keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving,
right?
You know what I'm saying? If you don't walk that first
I seen your video too. Yeah.
You seen that shit? You didn't move the first time to a lawful order. So you going in cuffs. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm saying to them, I'm saying these motherfuckers, this is the incident that happened. These motherfuckers came and they started picking with the wrong black brother, right? Over just standing in the street. They assumed that he was drinking, but he wasn't drinking. But he had more clout than what he thought he was. The brother tried to identify himself and asked the cops for an ID. They never identified himself. They never pulled out a shield. So he explained to himself. He said, listen, I've been 3 years clean. What you want to give me a ticket for? They started talking about somebody around you. Somebody next to you was drinking. the fuck you talking about? What part did you understand? I wasn't drinking. So they tried to escalate it. They tried to escalate the shit. All the time he's saying, can I get your ID? Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Long story short, let's fast forward. By the time the whole shit reached the boiling point, the whole block, from one block to the end, from the block to the end, have been swarmed with cops. Now, you're a tactical person. You understand. It shouldn't have been that many cops in that one position, right?
Absolutely not.
It's sitting in a tactical position. These motherfuckers came and they flooded the block and they wanted to harass. They don't know what was on that block. They could have aired out half the precinct right there. But they so arrogant. They so arrogant and they use their tactics against us. So what I'm saying to you is when we stop allowing them to do certain things, they up the game. They escalate shit. They make small shit into big shit.
That and you right, Coke, because when they took us from Africa, I don't think we was calling each other black. I think that we was whatever our tribe was, or
that's right.
Whatever that was, right? So they came and classified us and turned it into something else, and that's what it was. So even if you say, LaShawn, stop being black, they're going to find something else to classify us, and work it all, and work us all over again. So you can stop being black, like he said, then you go be the wall, and then they go treat us. The word, to me, the words don't really mean anything. But I get what people say with, don't say minority because it has a certain effect. No matter what the word is, they going to turn it into something to make us feel less than. And
so
and
brother, what can I turn Tremel Thompson into to make it appropriate other than Tremel Thompson?
What you mean to make it appropriate? I mean, listen.
I mean, what can I call you?
Call him his name.
I can't call you outside your name, right? If I call you outside your name, you're gonna check me.
That's untrue. I may not pay you no mind because I know that you want a reaction out of me.
Hold on. Say the answer again.
I may not pay you no mind.
And what are we doing?
No, but see, you speaking at it from one man. When these people set up this stuff, it's a system. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Community.
No, exactly. So you can't say you as an individual is coming to do. I could ignore you as an individual, but when you got a whole system, a whole machine saying this is what you are, then it's a little different. You go fill out. You go fill out an application.
Answer though.
No, but it's really, the answer is it don't matter what they call you. So you stop being black today, tomorrow you're going to be something else, because when you go fill out that application, because you got to remember, you can stop being black, but you want to know what? They still control every damn thing. So
it's not going. You can self-identify. You can listen. People right now with this transgender shit, and I don't want to go. This is why I don't want to touch on this because we say this for another day, but. People, they're self-identify. This self-identity shit, that don't mean nothing if the system is paying. That's what the rules is made of, to keep everybody in line. As long as your heart is pumping blood, as long as you're alive, you got to walk a straight line to get your paycheck, to eat, to have some place to stay, to keep your freedom.
Yeah, I mean, and look at the Byron.
Still apply.
Look at the Byron Allen thing. If he stopped being black this minute, we still don't control anything to give us the right. So you stop being black, LaShawn, and you work for the MTA. You go fill out the application and say, I can't identify with nothing North Alaskan. Yeah, you could put other. You could put other, right? But you may not feel like you other. You may not feel like you other. You may want to identify with something else. You're not going to get that job. Why? Because you don't.
Because if you don't fill it out,
exactly.
If you don't fill out the application,
exactly.
Because you don't fill out something,
you don't control exactly. Because you don't control anything.
That's what
and the only way that we can control things is what we have to be a community. That's all that I'm saying.
That's the answer. That's the answer.
Okay.
That's the answer.
There you go.
That's the answer.
Byron is going through this. If they knew that what's his name, Mr. Allen? If they knew that Mr. Allen had a community behind him, I promise you, they would not be giving him.
You know what I don't understand with us black people? we always go looking for acceptance from others, right? That's the major issue with us, right? So look at us right now. Look at us right now. I seen two intelligent brothers who are known for a long time having great conversation on Facebook, right?
Right.
I got a little TV platform, right? Look,
Right.
let's start our own show. Let's support each other. Let's control our narrative because that's the main issue that's going on here. We do not control our narrative. So now we have our first show. We going on 2 hours and it didn't feel like 2 hours. And I know that everybody got something to do,
Man.
but these are the conversations that need to be had. These is the conversations that need to be said. We not on this. We not talking about love and hip hop. We not talking about the ratchet stuff. We not calling each other niggas or whatever the case is. We have an intelligent conversation. Right. The only people that's gonna get mad at this is the people who feel like we empowering each other. But that's the intent, right?
Right.
If we don't have these conversations, like both of you guys, y'all don't gotta say nothing. Both of you guys are more intelligent than me. I'm telling you that.
No, that's not.
No, hold on.
That's not true.
Nah,
No. Listen. I learned from you guys. I'm quite sure we learn from each other. But you guys, I mean, y'all a little older. It don't really mean anything. But you guys come with so much knowledge that people need to hear what you guys are thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Coke, we partied for years. We listen. We done did everything from shows where things popped off. Remember that, Coke? Shows where things popped off, and you know we had a lot of
the Brooklyn exposure.
I mean, look, we had a lot of fun, and I never knew these type like this what was going on in Coke mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, what the hell? You know what's going on here? You know.
Never judge a book by its cover, bro.
I mean, listen, I could judge you by your cover. I've done partied with you from some sun up to sun, from sun up to sundown, sun up to sun. But you know, I think that this is very important. This is our first show. It's only going to get better. We're not going to be doing 2-hour shows all the time unless the conversation go there.
Apologies.
No, it's all good because we having conversation. It's constructive conversation. Somebody is going to hear this and enjoy and probably Google. Because when I see y'all guys talk, I'm on Google like, let me see what the hell they talking about. What the hell is going on here? Coke Stories on Facebook is like a magazine. He got probably like 50 things up there right now. And it's
going to watch it.
It's going to watch it. It's all educational. It's all educational stuff. So I need for the people out there who's watching this. This is going to be on YouTube. This is going to be on Facebook. Share it out, man. Spread the knowledge. We've been indoctrinated for years. I didn't start learning about real Black history until I got to college, and that was at the age of 32. It didn't really touch me in elementary school, junior high school, or high school. It touched me
by design, brother.
Without a doubt. But you want to know what? This is going to be by design too. And we're going to make sure we have the constructive conversation, the real conversation. We're not going to agree all the time. But we're going to agree to disagree. But it's going to be someone in this circle that you're going to be able to agree to. That's one thing that we're going to say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys want to leave the people with a final word before we get off and we get ready for the next show?
Well, Coke, you the senior, so you want to take it last? You want to end it off?
I'm gonna tell people like this. Whenever you hear me speaking, there's 1,000 different ways to look at things, and I respect everybody's point of view. I know a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, professions and stuff like that. I don't expect to be agreed with. I'm not a professor. You know what I'm saying? I think time has taught me a lot of things. And people taught me a lot of things. I learn something every day. And I'm only sharing information and I'm adding my point of view from it. Everybody's opinion is valid. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't agree with me. I just finished getting the arguments with people who thought that they knew more than me and stuff like that. I may not, how you say, I keep saying to the people, I'm not no professor or anything, but I'm really not none to fuck with. I know a few things. All right? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not here trying to respect everybody's opinion, and I have my valid points. I make my mistakes, and I don't know everything. But if you listening, if whatever you feel coincides with what you saying, what I coincide with, don't feel no pressure to hold back. People can holler at me if they see me or whatever the case may be. Feel free to contact me, whatever the case may be.
What high school you went to, Coach?
Check.
Brooklyn Tech. You gotta let that know, man. During your time to get into Brooklyn Tech, it was crazy hard, man. And you great friends. You great friends with who? Who's one of the
people? I'm a lot of people, man. A lot of people. I got a lot of people, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, on my own merit. I'm trying to do things on my own merit. I got my nephew. I got you doing this. That's all I need right now. We all doing good. Everybody out here, everybody I know is doing well.
Yeah, that's it.
Everybody's doing well.
LaShawn, what you got to say to the people, man?
I just want to let the people know. I want to let all people know. Maintain and get back on your mission so you don't have to be in submission to somebody else's. Oh no.
All right, that's the show for today. When we get together, we are called intelligence. That was came up with LaShawn. I like that, intelligence.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
Cool.
And we're gonna
gentlemen, baby.
Exactly. And we're gonna get other people on the show also, for people who don't agree with mainly this is their show. I'm just here facilitating it and putting my 1-2 thing in. This is mainly their show. And we're going to bring other guests on who may not agree with them and who want to rep they set or whatever the case is. And we're going to keep the conversation going because I think that's needed. So thanks for tuning in.
They want to battle against both Coke and I together.
Listen, whichever way, man. But look, before we go, please share out the show. Please share out the show. It's going to be on YouTube. When we get off of Facebook, please put it in every group that you in. Put it on your main page. Start watch parties. It's very important. If please like the group too. Like this video. Press like on Facebook and YouTube. It's very important as far as rankings is concerned. And this is just the beginning. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Later, friend.
Yeah.
Later,